On the phone is Sportsnet's Stephen Brunt. And Stephen, you're the bearer of good news for those in Winnipeg. According to your article in the Globe and Mail and GlobeSports.com, that the Thrashers have been sold to Winnipeg. Any more details?
Well, that's it, RJ. That's the story. That the Atlanta Spirit Group, which owns the Atlanta Thrashers, and True North, which owns the MTS Centre in Winnipeg, and the Manitoba Moose have reached an agreement on the sale of that team, which would lead to it being relocated to Winnipeg. And the other thing I can tell you is that that deal, in principle, the idea that the team could be sold to the Winnipeg Group and it could be relocated, was approved by the National Hockey League some months ago, pending a sale price and an agreement between the two parties. So the NHL has signed off on this already. The Winnipeg Group is working under that assumption all along, and we expect an announcement. Well, their plans are being made for an announcement on Tuesday. Now, the fact that this is out tonight, maybe that changes things, but there were certainly plans being made to have a press conference in Winnipeg on Tuesday where Gary Bettman was going to be and is going to make it official.
So on Tuesday, this brings up so many more questions, Stephen. I don't know if there's a lot of answers out there for this team moving to Winnipeg, but can we assume that this would be a team that starts next season in Winnipeg?
I don't know that for certain, but that would be my assumption. The timing of this, I think, would allow them to do that. And, again, I don't think anybody would prefer to play a lame duck season in Atlanta and absorb tens of millions of dollars of losses if they didn't have to. So I'm not sure who would cover those, and I can't see a scenario in which that would happen, but I don't know that for a fact.
Now, the NHL a couple of times in Atlanta, but losing a big American TV market probably is something that wouldn't sit well with Gary Bettman.
Well, you would think, it looks like a retreat. Now, they just signed a 10-year TV deal, so, and I would assume that when that deal was negotiated with NBC and Comcast, and that they were very aware that a team might be leaving the United States and moving to Canada. They probably didn't know which of the two teams it would be, but, they're locked in TV-wise. But, there is some symbolism here. In 1996, when they left Winnipeg, the assumption was that the NHL had outgrown markets like that they were going to expand in the sunbelt and in non-traditional places, big American markets, and secure a big TV contract, and places like Winnipeg were too small. And, to be fair, in Winnipeg at that point, they had an old arena. They had no way of replacing it. They had no owner who wanted to own the team in Winnipeg. So, I know the fans were brokenhearted, but there really wasn't any way to keep the team there. But the fact that they're kind of going back to where they were would suggest that, that things have changed in the National Hockey League, at least in terms of the business model and in terms of what their intent was.
Now, Stephen, this announcement is still in its infancy stages. Any word on numbers as far as purchase price, relocation fees, any of that stuff?
No, I don't, RJ. I know the same numbers that have been kicked around that everybody else has talked about, which is $170 million total, somehow divided between a relocation fee and a franchise fee. But, at this stage, I honestly don't know.
Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to hearing more because there's plenty more to come in this story. Thanks, Stephen.
All right, RJ.